Hello guys, welcome to the channel. This is WvW. In today's video we'll be talking about survivability. This will be a commentary explaining what I do, how do I survive, the way I use my tools, I manage my distance, also how do I use terrain very importantly, and also how do I read the situation, my ability to survive, or when do I need to escape, everything in detail, but in like a commentary so you're able to see it being applied in actual fight. What do I think and what did I do? I already have a dedicated guide for playing Druid or the survivability side on Druid, and also have one for the combat and combo side, the apply of damage, bursts, and also a build video, full dedicated videos. I really urge you to watch, especially the survival one, since it's what we are discussing here. It will be in the description and in the cards, so check them. All you need in order to be a professional Druid, you will find it there. So without further ado, let's get right into explain what do I do to survive. In this first encounter, I was leading a group trying to take this keep, but too many players defending, we can't really keep the siege up, there's not much we can do. So I go a bit crazy, just going down, fighting all those, and then like I realize not much I can do there. Like even if I'm trying to ball them away from the siege is almost already destroyed, and there's not much I can do to survive. So I disengage, go behind the wall so they can't hit me, go to Celestial Avatar, trigger the stability so I can't get more CC'd, and immediately change direction. I spam a couple of dodges so I don't get immobilized or CC'd from behind if they're still going for me before I can actually heal or go for staff. Now since we are up here on another area, we can separate the enemy. So some of them are going behind us, some of them are above, some of them are down, which means they don't have their full force on us. I try to bail for my allies here and climb up again, so now only the ones who follow us here who can actually do damage, and when you get to the top you can actually jump to the one next to it. And now we disengage the enemy. I find them coming back again to follow us, so I rechange my position. I go down, so I see if they will follow, and some of them will. So since most of them down again, I go down again and try to re-climb up using the turtle to create a projectile barrier behind me so they can't actually land anything, and rechange my position. So now they are not re-separated, they kept 4 of them here and only one disengaged, so I engaged them immediately because this is not as big as it was now. I tried to re-climb up but I failed, so I rechanged my position, but I found an ally try to help me, so I immediately try to re-engage, but I don't have much cooldown, create more distance, going back here, and now they can't land projectile because of the obstruction, stealth, and climb up again. So I keep using the different hills edges to my advantage. I find the Soulbeast stay up trying to do some damage. I neutralize him by a projectile barrier through the turtle, and then go back again since the rest of them actually climbed down the other side behind my ally. So now there's only one of them behind me, and I kill him as fast as I can, going immediately for the finisher. Land it. By now the really big group is behind me again, so I do the same thing, leaving and climbing the other hill. And this was the fight basically. I was able to use the terrain to my advantage, keep the enemy huge bar separated so I'm not getting zerged by this huge group, and they either give up or keep allowing me an opportunity to breathe or actually kill one of them. Now in this second fight I was trying to protect the camp and helping my commander who already attacking the tower, and I keep few of the enemy players off him. So I'm trying to use NPCs to my advantage, so I try to move to the camp again, and I will be able to heal them, I will be able to do some pressure. Hopefully if I can down any one of them I would be able to change the tide of the fight a little. But applying some pressure, they quite tanky, they have enough condition cleanse, everything, and there's a mesmer. I was spent time there searching for the original one, and they have elementalist, and for your knowledge, elementalist is one of the most difficult classes to deal with in kiting if it exists in a group. Like a single elementalist will not really offer a problem, it's just a 1v1, but as a part of group the shock and aura thing become quite problematic because it can stun you, and if they can share it, if you touch any enemy member you will get stunned. That's besides the CC and the really good mobility teleport they can have. So it's problematic, especially that in my build I run 2 stun breaks that trigger hit and I don't have serious source of stability, so it can become quite difficult. I was able to separate them, the same thing we did in the last fight, by simply changing my position so some can stay behind in the camp and to follow, so I engage them again, and you can use those stomps around the camp in this area to avoid all damage and make it more difficult to the enemy follow you and even obstruct projectiles. And every time I see them get separated, I re-engage again in a fight that I think it might be easier to handle. But that was simply it, using the terrain, trying to separate the enemy, and use it to the advantage to actually even create more distance. Remember, if you are kiting, you can dictate where the enemy will move. So unless they can adapt to this problem, you can have the upper hand most of the time in how you can survive. At least if the enemy doesn't have a huge number advantage. Now this was like a later fight, probably very soon after it, and being chased by almost the same group. I use a projectile defense again, but they landed the CC, they landed immobilized while I'm in stealth, so since they already moved in front of me, the better advantage is actually to run behind. So I change my direction, I move behind an object again, I leave 60 avatar, but my sigil actually revealed me because I hit someone who was next to me. I move around the stump, but I wanted to actually put a projectile defense. The key didn't actually trigger, so I stealth, I dodge, I use a projectile defense again, and then had to dodge backward to cleanse the immobilize. And now I use the stumps. This healing with projectile defense and another use of the signet, multiple like 2 skills that do immobilize, one of them even bolzing with a projectile defense and next to a stump. So if they move in a straight line, they have to go through this immobilize, which allow me to create more distance because they're immobilized and crippled. They have to play to my terms while I'm kiting, and I was able to break free. Now this is a very difficult fight. I found all those players right in front of me and they all start chasing. So I immediately go to an area when I can kite quite well, using our lovely turtle, a great tool of survivability, one of the best ever came to Ranger, and climbing up again, so they have to follow or get separated, and use a projectile defense, so now not many skills can even reach me at this point. And it happened well, they are separated, few of them this side, few this side, but too many coming behind me, so I create some serious distance. I use speed relic in this build, which allow me, while I have swiftness, to be as fast as possible, especially that I have very limited actual mobility to kite with, only the staff 3 skill, and since they caught too much, I wanted to go behind so they wouldn't see it coming, but I made a mistake and delayed myself a bit. Still, I was able to go there, gain stability with a condition cleanse, so even if someone landed immobilized try to catch me, it would be cleansed and the CC won't land. I was able still to disengage immediately. Climbing up again, I get bowled by the dragon hunter. That's why I didn't leave 60 avatar actually until I was able to go to the end, so I would have condition cleanse, CC, more heal, and even access to stability if I needed. But I was able to climb up again, create a more distance, and put a projectile defense, and go into stealth. And now I was able to break out of combat and immediately go to Warclaw, and they gave up on chasing. So this is like a mini zerg there. I was able to kite because of that, creating a position when the numbers doesn't really help them. They are in a chokehold and there is few things they can do, and I will be able to create more distance. This is quite different. I will be kiting in the same position, but I will make mistakes. The enemy will be able to almost read into your actions because how long the thing will happen. So my allies was dying and I immediately downed the dragon hunter, but I can't follow up on it. There are 4 players, so I can't actually finish the dragon hunter, and the mobility of the vindicator will be quite problematic. Combine that with a necromancer with the corrupt and the severe condition pressure, so power condition, they have every tool allowed to them there. So I create a safe zone using my turtle and now go back to my trap so I can heal and gain some regeneration and condition cleanse if I need it. Use the trick of lightning reflex immediately in the dodge itself, so a skill will not really track you, will not land, it will be through the dodge. The vindicator stuck on me quite well. I was able still to leave in the same way. I find the players they left behind, which is a Dragon Hunter. It's the one that can pressure me when I go this area, but he's quite an easy target and he moved away from me, so I immediately engage him. Look backward, forward, in order to see how long it will get him to take to you. I use the stability from skill 5 in City Avatar to get out of the elite trap from the Dragon Hunter, create more distance. I forgot about the Ranger, so I noticed him now again, so I immediately disengaged because there's pressure, creating projectile defense. Again, cripple and immobilize behind me in case someone followed, and now I'm above. The fight actually didn't end this way. So I was able to keep up the pace quite well, and maybe got me more cocky a little, that I can do the same and keep resetting the fight as much as I want to. And I will fall for two wrong things. I did not pay attention that the Ranger can actually land his hit from this distance. And that will cost me a lot, because I will be taking too much pressure than I can be allowed to have in a kite situation like this. So I stand here not really thinking that the Ranger can land his hit on me, but I immediately get hit with a burst. So I do enough pressure on the Necromancer hoping that I can get him down, but I had to reset, but he feared me in the cast of Staff 3, which can almost shut any droid down at this point, because all mobility is gone. You can't kite anymore, and I was stuck among them and died. Now we'll see another example on why some classes, like I said, can be problematic, and the enemy can adapt and find a way to actually surround you, especially in open areas when simple movement and speed will not be enough to save you. If there's not terrain to actually get you out of the area, or really make the enemies can't use their advanced or better mobility or better damage or numbers, in open area it becomes seriously problematic, and there is not much of kiting point you can have here. So we engage those guys, and even after downing the first one, the Elementalist, there's not much we can do. I was almost gonna go down there, so I had to disengage. And I go back after resetting, and I found my ally went down immediately. So I try to leave at this point. On Workclaw, I know they will get me down from the Workclaw very soon. And they did, so I dodge so I don't get immobilized or CC'd. I don't know what they will be using until I can actually go for skill 3 and staff, trying to disengage with all mobility I have in order to break combat again, but the Elementalist teleport right behind me. I use my immobilize to create more distance, and I find that I can still create more distance since they used most of their mobility, and my mobility is almost resetted. And I successfully do. Now I'm stealthed, so they can't land the hit. I try to disengage, but this look behind thinking I'm safe or not cost me the time, and now I couldn't leave. And in an area when I can't do anything. It's not like I can take their camp, I can't take the tower I was already attacking before. So now I'm just in a fight where I'm trying to create distance again, the same method, in order to ride the Workclaw and completely leave the fight. And thinking I can ball this off made me not really go for a terrain, Chin's position, or do anything. Like I'm moving almost in a straight line, thinking I can move better than them. Like barely here, which I really side to this area, but one of them in Workclaw and hunt me, and the other is trying to run me up. The Ranger doing very well here, trying to go even in front of me, knowing this is the only exit, and seeing I'm going into a straight line. He just knocked me back, make me lose stun break, which now both of them on cooldown. I get teleported on, immobilized, CC'd with multiple CC skills. Finally I was able to leave my sister avatar and leave an immobilized behind. Another teleport from another Ellie, and the immobilize is quite problematic, and another CC, more days, more damage. I go into Sister Avatar. I should have left immediately, like after landing the cleanse, but the Ranger was able to unleash his burst, and I went down. And that's why when the enemy have more mobility than you, terrain can become the only advantage, or creating a situation when you have better mobility, like dodging into water, for example. But I had nothing of the sort in this area. Now in this fight, it started as a normal fight, and it will change into very difficult. So you'll see an example on like how to read a situation when you know you really need to get out. After it was a normal fight, now you actually need to survive. So I trigger the same thing, just a cast of skill 5 to get stability, so the Necromancer can't hold me down. He has some serious damage, and can chain CCs quite well when having also a spellbreaker next to him. So in any moment I can really get locked down quite easily with CCs and immobilize and chill and all this good stuff when you can't really move. So I find an ally there, and obviously I have to actually help him. I avoid this cast of the elite. I'm not sure he cast it or stood. However, I dodged it and I get hugely bombarded with a huge burst, and I see another ally coming there after the first one left, and I had to go down because the pressure is too much and I don't even have my heal. Both my bits are dead, and I was successfully able to reset, but my ally couldn't survive for quite those moments, and I go engage them again. I did not notice I have Guardian on me until this point. I thought I was still fighting the Necromancer and the Warrior, but the Warrior actually went down while my other ally was fighting him. So when I noticed I have a Guardian on me, I had this perception that I will be having 3 players on me. I didn't really notice what happened with the Warrior down the other side of the camp. So I made a mistake here taking this damage, thinking I would be able to land some movement limitation like Berserk Cripple or the Mobilize, but to recover I immediately went through the camp, so they have to go around the walls, they can't land their hits, the idea of using the terrain, and I'm sizing them up. They're only 2 players, so I want to actually fight them, and I'm keeping them next to me, trying to reset my cooldowns or have some time, breathing room, but they engaged my ally there, and they wasted a lot of mobility, a lot of damage trying to take me down, and didn't happen. So now they don't have much tools to actually do anything, so I was able to chain CC, lock them both, and burst them down without any of them actually having a way out or a cleanse. So I downed them both after they down my ally, and I will care more about actually raising him so they can't rally on him. So this also not only started as a fight and ended as a survivability situation and went back into an opportunity to kill. I'll probably make another video on actual fighting, not just surviving, like the other side, landing the damage, creating situation when you can actually win, different style after that. So make sure you subscribe so you won't miss it. Ask me any questions if you want in the comment. I hope you find this video useful and enjoy it, and I'll be seeing you next time. Peace.